Hello, everyone. This is Janice Wright from the Garrison Public Affairs Office. And when you think of summer, you often think of a great book to read. And thankfully, here at the Great Place, we have a great resource that provides a plethora of things to read for the young and the young at heart. So we're here speaking with Rachel Bethel from the Fort Cavazos Casey Memorial Library, and she's going to tell us all about it, all that and more on this week's episode of the Great Big Podcast. We're sitting here with Miss Rachel Bethel. Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me here.
You're so welcome. So Casey Memorial, I know that, it has, books and everything, but from what I understand, it has so much more. So let us know what Casey Memorial offers here at the Great Place.
We have a lot more than books, I'll be
Absolutely.
Quite honest. That is what most people associate with libraries.
Right.
And yes, we have an amazing collection of several thousand items, well over 50,000 in fact.
Oh, wow. Okay.
However, as I said, that's not the only thing. There's computers, there's movies, there's video games, there's board games, there's in-person programming, there's the online resources, which have things like streaming music and movies.
Oh, see, those are new things I wasn't aware of. So you mentioned thousands and thousands of books. So what do we have on hand at the library? Because I know you have access to things that you don't have, or you could order things.
Okay. We do, although they've recently limited that slightly. We recently moved to a new computer system. And while they are implementing that computer system, that particular aspect has been reduced until they finish settling all of the data. But as for in what we have on hand, there's obviously lots of old stuff, but we also get a lot of new releases in as well.
So I love a new release. We actually have a book column in. Many of the books that we review are available at Casey Memorial.
I'm glad to hear that. We try very hard to pick out things that people are actually wanting to read.
Yes. So as you mentioned, the library has gone from just being a place to, you rent books or utilize books to so much more. So tell us about some of the other things that Casey Memorial offers.
Okay, well, one of the first things, most recent things that we've added to the collection are actually board games.
Okay.
And that's something that we've had available off and on as part of programming or as just people can play in the children's room. But you can now check them out and take them home or to your barracks and do a board game party or just have a fun time in the evening. There's obviously some older ones, the classics like dominoes or Scrabble.
I don't mind the classics at all.
There's stuff for kids, the Chutes and Ladders, Apples to Apples. There's also some of the more adult games like Dominion. There's Lord of the Rings. There's Cards Against Humanity.
I've played that before. That's pretty interesting.
It is pretty interesting. It depends. It's also there's a lot of variation depending on who you're playing with.
Right. So. And how long can you actually keep the board games?
Board games actually check out for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's a nice, good long time. Okay. I thought you were going to say more like 3 days.
No. As part of the new computer system rollover, they also extended the amount of time for certain items. Okay. So movies previously were a 1 week checkout. They have been extended to 3 weeks as well.
Okay. So you offer movies?
Yes. Okay. DVD and Blu-ray.
Nice. For you guys that still use Blu-ray and DVD, you can go to Casey Memorial and probably find all those old school, those nostalgic movies that you like to watch over and over, right?
And as well as the new stuff.
Okay. So how does that work as far as like renting a Blu-ray or DVD?
Same way it would with a book. You would make sure that your account is in order, as in, up to date, correct address, have your card with you. We don't use separate library cards. We attach the account to your military ID. And when you go to check out, make sure you have everything in place. And then when it's time to return everything, for anything has multiple pieces, like board game or DVD, make sure everything is in the box before you drop it off in the slot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've done that so many times. When Redbox was really popular, I
Mhm.
think, I had the movie in there and it's been a couple of times where I went and it was
Yeah.
still in my DVD player.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with standing there and checking right before you drop it in, even if
Right.
you're absolutely certain, because I cannot tell you the number of times that people have sworn up and down that they returned a movie and they returned the box, but at
Right.
some point in the travel between home and the library, the rattling of the car or whatever caused the movie to slide out of the box onto the back seat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then in addition to the movies, you mentioned streaming
Yes.
services.
We actually have a enormous online resources collection.
Mm,
Online resources are things like subscription services that you
okay.
would normally subscribe to that you can get free through the library. So some of them are very big and very popular. For example, Ancestry is the big genealogical database.
Ancestry.com?
Ancestry.com.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
we have free access to the library edition for
Wow.
all library card account holders.
That's pretty cool.
hmm Chilton Auto Library. So all of those Chilton manuals that you're using when you're putting new pieces or fixing your car,
Okay.
it's all available free online through the library.
Wow.
And then back to the movies, Canopy is our streaming movie service.
Mhm.
Has a mixture of documentaries, kids shows, some popular movies, a lot of the award-winning classics. So while it may not be everything that you would find on Netflix or Hulu, there's
Right.
still a lot there that's easy to enjoy, and you don't have to pay
Absolutely.
for it.
It's still amazing and it's free, just like you
And
said.
it's free.
Oh my.
We also
I'm
have
pleasantly surprised.
if movies aren't your thing, there's music. Uh,
Okay.
we have Freagle, which is another streaming service.
Mhm.
You stream music.
Right.
You can also stream music videos. And depending on whether or not it's available in their library, their music library, you can actually download music and music videos to keep for yourself.
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
couple of songs a week or one music video a week.
Okay.
So we've recently switched over how the online resources access. So it's pretty straightforward. You would go to the online resources website,
Okay.
which is army.dodmwrlibraries.org.
Okay.
And then you would go to the top of the page, click the register button if you do not already have an account. If you do have an account, you would click log in.
Mhm.
It'll ask for your DOD number and your birthday, and then boom, you have an account and you have access to all of the online resources that we were discussing.
Okay.
And once you've done that, you're able to, some of the resources have apps available, such as Canopy and Libby.
Mhm.
Others you have to access through the website in order to in order to be able to use them for free, such as Ancestry.
Mhm.
But once it's all right there on one page. So there's no wandering around to try and find things
Good.
now.
That makes it a lot easier because
Yes,
it can be a little bit overwhelming.
if it can. If you're not sure what you're doing, I do recommend just clicking on the Find a Resource tab and
Mhm.
then sorting it by A to Z and just scrolling down. Read the summaries right there on the page. It'll give you an idea of what everything we have available is.
Okay. Now, I am an avid audiobook person. I
Mhm.
love a good audiobook. So, what's the audiobook selection like, and what's the platform in which we can use those?
Well, it depends on whether you want a physical version, which
Mhm.
would be the audiobook read out loud onto a CD,
Okay.
in which case those are available for checkout. We've got adult and children's collections, and those check out for 3 weeks. So you should have plenty of time to get through a long one.
Absolutely.
Um, and if you don't have a CD player, which is increasingly common since they stopped including them in new cars,
Mhm.
we have a couple of different online resources that have or streaming or something similar. But the really big, really popular database is Libby.
Okay.
Libby used to be called Overdrive, so some of you may know that by
Mhm.
the older name. They just rebranded the app when they made a new one for the newer phones that
Mhm.
supported more options. And Libby actually acquired the old RB digital audiobook database.
Okay.
So when it did that, it added over 100,000 audiobooks to their
Oh,
collection, and
wow.
we've been having a lot of fun taking advantage of that. So you can download the app, make your account, and then check out whatever you're interested in, and then stream it to whatever speaker or headphones that you're
Mm,
interested in from your phone or tablet, or you can just listen to it on your computer.
okay. And I have used several DVD audiobooks,
Mhm.
but I find that having like an app to download on your phone, it gives me more availability and a wider variety of books that I can download.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not restricting yourself to a single format is often
Right.
an advantage.
Right.
So,
Okay, so you talked about having a lot of children's books and things like that. I understand that the library has a whole room dedicated
yes,
to
we
kiddos.
have a separate children's room. It's quite nice, actually. I
It
My
is.
desk is stationed in there, so I'm very familiar with the children's
It's
room.
very nice. It's very vibrant and colorful. Yes.
hmm Yeah, mixture of materials. Obviously, there's the books for the babies and board books, all the way up to about the kids' middle grade books are in that room. There's also toys for them to play with. We've got a very large selection of puppets and stuffed animals. Now, all of those have to stay in the children's room. They cannot be checked out like the board
Okay.
games,
Understood.
but it not normally an issue other than the occasional meltdown because some child doesn't want to leave a toy behind.
Right, 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 right. So is there any kind of like, reading hours, where are parents or volunteers encouraged to come in and read to the children?
Not specifically. During the school year, we do offer story time at
Okay.
Fridays and Fridays at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was alluding to. Story
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yes.
story time. During the school year is Fridays at 10 o'clock. During the summer, we roll the story time into our summer reading program and the time
Okay.
shifts.
Okay.
So during this summer and the summer reading program, it is now at 2 in the afternoon
Okay.
because what we're doing there is we're also offering other programs for older kids at the same time.
Mhm.
So the little ones up to about 5, 6, depending on what their interest level is, are all in the children's room having story time at 2,
Mhm.
while their older siblings, 6, 7 to about 12, 13, are going to be in the front of the library doing some kind of craft or activity with me. And then the teenagers are in the back of the library with a coworker who is also doing craft or activities with them. So
Okay.
that way that families with kids of multiple ages don't have to keep coming back to the library or decide which one gets to do the fun program while the others are bored out of their skulls.
Okay. So the summer reading program, it happens every summer, right?
Yes,
And it usually starts when the kids get out of school.
yes.
And what does that entail during the summer for them?
There's a couple of parts going to the summer reading program. First off, summer reading programs in general are obviously designed to keep kids reading.
Right.
But what a lot of people aren't necessarily aware is that it's important to keep reading
Mhm.
because it has been demonstrated by studies repeatedly over and over again for decades that kids who don't read during the summer, or for that matter, adults who don't read for a long period of time,
Mhm.
lose their comprehension abilities and their ability to just keep up with reading and learning, sometimes drastically.
Wow.
It has been the average number that I see quoted in most of the studies, and on you'll see it on the advertising as well, is if they don't read during the summer, it can set them back up to 3 months.
Wow. That's pretty interesting.
So summer reading programs are offered by most library, inclusive us and the rest of the army,
Mhm.
as a way to kind of keep the habit going and also bring awareness to the library itself. Our summer reading program is a little different than some of the ones that you'll find in other places because
Mhm.
everywhere is allowed to do their own thing with it.
Okay.
We have an online website. It's called Beanstack, and that is where you would register for the summer reading program. And then once you're registered, you would keep track of the amount of time you spend reading on that website. And the longer you read, you just put in minutes. It goes does not books.
Mhm.
So if you read 3 hours, it doesn't matter whether you're 5 or whether you're 30. You're still going to earn the same amount of time in there which I find a lot more fair because those kids' books are really tiny.
Right.
They can go through
they
30
can
of those
be.
suckers in the time it takes an adult to get to chapter
Yes.
one.
Right. I think it's more, it's more focused on the graphics and the pictures and everything
Yeah,
when you're that
so
age. Yeah.
but yeah, the longer you read, every now and then a message will pop up telling you you've earned a prize because the longer you read, the more prizes you can earn.
Of course, and
Hmm.
incentives get, kids doing a lot of things. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And once they've earned a prize, they can pick it up in the children's room.
That's pretty cool. I love
So
that.
that's the online part. And then we have the in person programming. I already mentioned the 2 o'clock program that we're doing with all of the kids.
Mhm.
We are also offering, and it's sort of an unofficial board game hour. Board game, we're calling it Family and Friends Board Game Days on Saturday afternoons,
Mhm.
where we'll take some of the library board games that are available for checkout, lay them out on the tables for anybody who wants to come in and sit down and play. They can bring their friends, they can just play with whoever's there, whatever. And we'll also have some coffee or hot chocolate available for
Okay.
anybody who wants to have a drink while they're doing it.
Nice. All
And if
right.
they don't finish a game or they don't have time, it's the library. They can check out the game when they're done.
Right. And how long does the summer reading program last until?
Summer reading program this year runs from June 3rd to July 29th.
Okay.
So that they have that long in order to do their reading, record it, and then earn whatever prizes.
Mhm.
They'll be able to pick up their prizes for up to 2 weeks after the program ends.
Mhm.
But they have to make sure all of their time is recorded in by the end of the workday on July 29th.
Okay. Got it.
And then once all of that is done, we have a summer reading finale party. That's going to be August 3rd.
Okay.
So that's Saturday at 2 in the afternoon. And that is when we announce our top readers. Since we have multiple age tracks for our summer reading program, it is an all ages summer reading program. So little ones who cannot read on their own get time by other people reading to them.
Okay.
And adults can also earn prizes. We have separate prizes depending on the age group. So
I
you
should have
don't need to
signed
worry
up.
about getting
I should have
the
signed
kids
up.
are getting fun, squishy gooey frogs, and the adults don't need to worry about that. They're getting
Okay.
nice things like lunch boxes and pocket toolkits.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, but during the finale party, we announce our top readers. Each one of the age tracks has a top reader for that age group.
Okay.
And the top reader will receive a extra prize.
Mhm.
So what's in it varies obviously according to the age, but it'll be a bag with some fun extra prizes. And we announce to everybody they get a certificate for being the top reader for their age group.
I love that.
And it can get quite competitive.
I can imagine.
And very competitive. Last year, I believe there was only 6-minute difference between the top 3 people. So it was very, very close in the adult range last year, I remember.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. We also have drawing prizes. So as I mentioned, some of the age tracks have different, they all have different prizes.
Mhm.
Some of those prizes are going to appeal to more than just the age group that they were assigned.
Absolutely.
So we've set aside a couple of those prizes in a drawing.
Mhm.
And as you read, not only do you earn prizes, you also earn digital drawing tickets. And you can put your tickets toward whichever item it is that you're interested in. And obviously, it's not a guarantee, but you have a much better chance of getting it by putting your tickets in toward whatever item you're interested in than trying to figure out how to get something that's not in your age track.
Okay. Again, that extra incentive that always
Extra
helps.
incentive, yes.
Okay, well, you guys are doing a lot to help keep, kids engaged and keep them reading over the summer. Also, with games, you guys also offer a lot of video games, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For multiple different formats. There's Xbox, there's PlayStation, Nintendo. So
Now, do you also offer for rent the gaming system or just the game?
no, just the games.
Okay, I guess I was just hoping.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you guys out there, listeners. Trying to help you out.
Yeah, there's I get that question a lot.
Okay.
but currently it is just the games.
Okay, well, you can at least rent the games, but you also have computers that
Yes.
people can use.
We have a large number of computers that can be used, actually, and we also have a couple of computers with the ability to scan.
Okay.
So if you need to scan something to email, that is an option. You need to print. That's also an option. You can, if you need to scan the email, you would when you make your computer reservation, you would make sure you select one of the scanner ones. Otherwise, it'll default to one of our regular computers that are attached to the printer. If you need to print, printing is 10 cents a page for
Yes,
black
I was
and
going to
white.
ask about that because I know that most of the services you provide
That
are
is,
free.
it's one of our
but
most
the one
popular
thing
services.
that you do charge for is just the paper, which is understandable.
Yeah, 10 cents a page for black and white is 25 cents a page for color.
Okay.
Something to remember: we do not take credit cards. You need to bring in cash.
Okay, you guys heard it here. No credit cards at Casey Memorial Library. Make sure you bring cash.
Yes, must be cash.
Okay.
And if you forget, we can't process whatever you're doing until you bring it in. So you'll end up having to find an ATM somewhere.
Okay. Now, hey, we put it out there. That's all we can do.
Yep.
That's all we can do. So when is Casey Memorial open? What are the hours?
Okay. Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're open from 9 to 5. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're open from 9 to 7.
Okay.
All right.
And where is Casey Memorial located?
Casey Memorial is at the intersection of 72nd Street and 761st Tank Battalion Avenue.
Okay.
So if you are less familiar with street names and more familiar with geographic landmarks, if you know where the CTC building is off of Legends, there's a giant parking lot in front of it that's between the CTC building and the Popeyes. Those anchor two ends of the square. We're at the side of the square next to CTC.
Okay.
So just head through the parking lot to the other side.
Right.
And you'll find us right there on the end.
All right. Great. Casey Memorial Library offering much, much more than just books. We love it. Thanks for being here with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Going boating alone can be relaxing and peaceful. The weather is nice, the fish are biting, and there's no one around for miles.
I got the bite of a lifetime, and without thinking, I stood up to reel it in, but in all the excitement, I lost my balance. I fell in and gasped. No worries, because I was wearing a life jacket, and my life was saved.
Your involuntary gasp reflex could cause you to drown. Life jackets worn, nobody mourns. Learn more at pleasewearit.com.
I love Casey Memorial Library, probably because I am a big book lover. I love audiobooks. You know, books kind of provide you a vacation. It's like a vacation from your life, and you get to delve into someone else's life through the creativity of an author. And I just love that. Yeah. Are you a big reader, Sean?
Yeah. Hey, guys. This is Sean Davis with the Fort Cavazos Public Affairs Office. And I'm a big reader. It's only like one-off things, like for certain books. Yeah, I'll just read from start to finish in a couple nights. But other than that, I don't routinely read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting to see how libraries have been adapting over the time since I was a kid.
Absolutely. I was amazed at all the things that Casey Memorial offers, outside of an amazing collection of books, within the library. They have all kind of streaming programs, and all of these resources are free.
Yeah.
I was amazed. And I, for one, when I do have to drive a long distance, I don't do it often. I love an audiobook. It keeps me more engaged, even more so than music does. Music makes me feel a little bit, drowsy, but a book keeps me locked in because I'm anticipating what's going to happen in the story.
Yeah. No, I still remember growing up as a kid, I would only go to the library literally just to use the computers, because that was a quick way to get a computer with internet access.
And that they offer those as well.
Yeah.
They offer computer resources. You can go in there and use the computers. All you have to do is pay a small minimal fee for the pages. And in addition to computers and apps that Case and Memorial offers, there's another app that's going to be very beneficial to Fort Cavazos families.
Okay.
So it's called the My Army PCS app. So the app is a customizable app that helps users prepare for their PCS before, during, and after the report date. It is a knowledge-based information tool, including topics such as entitlements, move types, resources, and claims. Additionally, users can talk to a live agent at the Army Personal Property Call Center during their move. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking to a live agent, that's clutch, really. How many times, how frustrating is it to get a robot or a recording or something like that? So that's really important. You guys can download the My Army PCS app at the Apple App Store or using the Google Play Store, wherever you would download. So yeah, make sure you do that.
Yeah, definitely check that out. What else do we have going on, Janice?
Oh, we got a bunch of road closures. That's what we got. So starting tomorrow, which is July 9th, Legends Way between 27th and 24th Streets will be closed between 8:55 and 10 a.m. So you guys be aware. So you need to pretty much take an alternate route. That's what's encouraged, and plan appropriately so that you're not late to work. Also, there's a road closure on July 10th between Legends Way and 72nd and Plyku. I think we talked about how to pronounce that.
Is it
before.
Plyku?
I think it's Plyku Drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be closed between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on the 10th. So, of course, again, take an alternate route and plan appropriately. And lastly, another road closure on July 12th between Legends Way and Plyku. Also, again, going to be closed between 10:25 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. on July 12th. So, again, take an alternate route and plan appropriately.
Yeah. We told you the same thing I said last time. We told you guys here right now, so you can't use an excuse.
Right. But somebody is going to be like, oh, I didn't know about that. Hey, we try to do what we can here at the Great Big Podcast. We try.
Yeah, spread the word.
Right.
So take away everyone else's excuse so you guys can get started on time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
so
right.
what else is going on, Sean?
Yeah, so as per the usual, we have the dental assistant program that is accepting applications. That is with the Fort Cavazos American Red Cross. They're accepting applications for the dental assistant program, where volunteers are trained in the basic skills needed to work as a dental assistant.
I love that.
Yeah, that goes on for October 21st to May 9th, 2025. And individuals must submit their application no later than August 16th. So remember, no later than August 16th.
You guys, you don't realize how fast these months are going by. Like, we're already in July. Don't wait. Yeah. August 16th will be here before you know it.
Because in August, you're going to be so baked from the sun. you won't have time to register. There'll be no mental capacity to do
right.
anything.
So
like
just
that.
go ahead and do it now.
Just do it now.
While here at the Great Big Podcast, while we're letting you know, just go ahead and take care of it.
Yeah. So registration requirements are: you are required to have a valid military ID card. You have to be enrolled in TRICARE, be a U.S. citizen, and 18 years or older. Oh, also, you have to have a high school or GED diploma. Also, you have to be in the Fort Cavazos, Killeen area for 1 year. This is not a remote course. You cannot remotely perform a dental cleaning.
No, you cannot. You actually have to physically be there. However, I have hopes for the future that technology will take us places we never dreamed of going.
Yeah. Hey, for more information, email fort.cavazos@redcross.org. Very simple email. Or call 254-287-0403.
Wow. Just another one of the great things happening here at the Great Place.
Yes.
So what's going on this week for you, Sean? What's going to be your mantra to have a good week?
Well, it's just been the 4th of July. I'm all tuckered out. I got my, summer barbecue on. I say barbecue, it's just roasting glizzies on the propane grill. But yeah, no, I'm going to take it easy. I'm planning probably in 2 weeks to go out and see some old friends in Ohio. So, I'm all tuckered out. I got all my celebrations in.
Talk about tuckered out.
Yeah.
Me too. Freedom Fest, 4th of July and just slightly before, a week ago, I actually played on the Garrison team, and we played basketball, volleyball, and dodgeball. And when I tell you, those youngsters, oh yeah, they got us. They broke us down. I'm gonna be honest. They tuckered me out, and I'm still recovering.
I thought you'd just be slinging straight balls in their faces.
Listen, I did my best.
Knock out a couple of teeth.
I did my best. I have played basketball. I've played basketball several years and volleyball. So I did okay with that. Dodgeball was another question. I just couldn't.
Smaller targets.
I couldn't wrap my mind around how they were slinging the ball so hard. And I just really got, the grasp of the rules. So it wasn't for me. It wasn't a good outcome, not at all. But kudos and big ups to Colonel Stokes. She is a baller. She is tenacious. She got out on that floor and she took it to those youngsters. So kudos, Colonel Stokes.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys for tuning in to another episode of the Great Big Podcast. We're always excited to imagine you guys listening to us in the car, at home, in the office.
Absolutely.
So yeah, keep an eye out on those things. Don't forget about those road closures. Check out the library. Download the My Army PCS app.
Absolutely. And do not forget about the dental assistant programs. It's a great opportunity, you guys.
Brush your teeth twice a day. One in the morning, one in the night. So with that,
wishing you an excellent and productive week.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy. Stay hydrated. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Cavazos and Fort Cavazos Public Affairs production. Have a question or want to share some of your wisdom with us? Drop us an email at fortcavazos@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fort Cavazos Army. And as always, be sure to leave us a review